The beauty of nonpartisanship is that it's transcendent. It becomes spiritual at that level. And that's really where we need to be and maintain all the time. If we can stay there, then we're going to quit fighting and screaming at each other a lot more and find out what we can do to help each other. And that's really where this is all headed. You got to have faith, and you can't be afraid, because that's going to stand in the way of good things. Good trouble takes courage. Don't ask me about tomorrow. I'm just trying to make it through today. Don't try and tell me things that I don't want to hear, when you know that I won't listen anyway. There is a consequence for ignorance. There is no substitute for love. You have a choice, you make a difference. Here is your chance to rise above with your love. My concentration, don't interrupt my train of thought, and don't try to tell me about the other side of the world when I try to play with a new toy that I just bought. There is a consequence for ignorance. There is no substitute for love. You have a choice, you make a difference. Here is your chance to rise above with your love. Give your love. You gotta share your love. Well, don't ask me about tomorrow. Don't try to tell me about the things I'm gonna miss. Don't try to tell me how to run my life when everyone knows that ignorance is bliss. There is a consequence for ignorance. There is no substitute for love. You have a choice, you make a difference. Here is your chance to rise above with your love. You gotta give your love. Come on and share your love. It's time to wake up, wake up, wake up and look around. Ignorance is bliss, just tongue-in-cheek, of course. Thank you, thanks.
Most of us here very likely gained any insights or knowledge that we have of our U.S. Constitution in grade school or perhaps a history class that we might have taken and likely grumbled about in high school. Or perhaps our most recent experience is over there in the Democracy in Action tent as we've learned new facts about our Constitution. But our next speaker is different. His professional career was spent immersed in the law and building much deeper knowledge of the Constitution than you or I will ever have. He spent more than 20 years practicing law and then went on and shifted to the judiciary. When he stepped up to that judicial bench, he took an oath to support and uphold the Constitution. He speaks to us today from that lens and vantage point as he considers the ways in which our Constitution is very, very quickly being eroded and its framework severely shaken. Join me in welcoming Kevin Galley to the Freedom Stage.
What can a presidential executive order accomplish? On September 22, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln announced his now immortal Emancipation Proclamation. I quote, that on the first day of January 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in a rebellion against the United States, shall then, thenceforward, and forever be free. Lincoln's executive order was crafted as a legal document, but it also contained strong political undertones. An executive order is a presidential statement directing how administration officials and agencies are to effectuate an enacted federal law or constitutional directive. Executive orders do not empower by themselves the president to impede or subsume Congress's or the judiciary's constitutional role. The framers' focus, with James Madison in the lead role, creation of a Republican small r government by way of a written document centered on the people of the nation collectively, as declared in the preamble's introductory words, "We the people of the United States." From our school civics lessons, we recall that a three-branch federal structure was agreed to in Philadelphia with a design to protectively shield against the emergence of a monarch or a tyrant. I'm quoting, "Power should be a check to power. Constant experience shows us that every man lavished with power is apt to abuse it." Madison fully embraced this political axiom articulated by French philosopher Montesquieu. The Madisonian-influenced constitutional plan provided for Article 1, the legislative branch. Among numerous assigned functions, it would write all necessary and proper legislation. Article 2, the executive branch. A single president is to execute the laws. Article 3, the judiciary. The judicial branch was vested with powers to settle disputes among people of different states and to guarantee to every defendant a right to a jury trial. The Constitution, signed 238 years ago, included the following provision. Article 6, paragraph 2. Again, I'm quoting. "The Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. Under Article 1, Congress has been authorized to create statutory independent agencies to supervise a subject area too complex and dynamic to be regulated by passage of a single unruly statute. Historically, independent federal agencies such as the National Labor Relations Board, the Federal Communications Commission, the Federal Reserve Board, the Social Security Administration, and the Federal Elections Commission, to name but a few, are not subject to direct control by the President or the executive branch under congressional enabling legislation. Over the past few years, litigation has been initiated grounded in theories of constitutional separation of powers to challenge the way in which independent agencies are managed operationally and to determine which branch of government is properly granted that function. Congress claims it is the rightful branch by virtue of Article 1, Section 8, where it is vested with authority, and I quote, to make all laws which are necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing delineated powers. The executive claims it is the rightful branch for such authority under Article 2, Section 1, which asserts such power, and I'm quoting, shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. The framers of the Constitution were clear about one thing in their discussions about who would not be installed to lead the federal government: a monarch or a tyrant, either by express designation in the document or by architectural defect in the framework that may allow any president to accumulate additional power in a bold maneuver or in a cloaked, secretive fashion during a term in office. Legal constitutional scholars have pondered the consequential reach of the Article 2 vesting clause and the take care clause stacked together, as those grants in the executive branch appear to push hard against the Article 1 grant to Congress to write all necessary and proper legislation. Undoubtedly, most of you have heard of a Supreme Court opinion from last summer captioned Trump versus the United States. The first obvious consequence of that decision is that a former president, quoting again, is absolutely immune from criminal prosecution for conduct that falls within his official duties. The 6-3 decision by the justices on the court also yielded a more nuanced, but arguably even more consequential result: the determination that the executive office is vested with expanded and exclusive presidential powers. This part of the holding in the Trump case was unexpected and surprising to regular followers of the Supreme Court. The resonance of this aspect of the Trump case, the creation of an executive branch sword awarded to the president, has created a basic reordering principle in constitutional law. The Supreme Court's expansive holding on the scope and range of exclusive presidential powers under Article 2 is now percolating in the litigation area. Numerous independent agencies are testing whether their congressionally defined mission and operational mechanics will survive an attempt at executive branch takeover. It is appropriate here to address a fundamental principle of law, the century-old concept of stare decisis and how it plays out in all courts, federal and state. Stare decisis is the established rule of law to abide by prior legal precedents determined by courts over the decades and centuries. The Supreme Court has written that stare decisis, quoting, contributes to the integrity of our constitutional system of government by ensuring that legal decisions are founded in law rather than the proclivities of individuals. On August 26, 2025, President Trump declared during a televised cabinet meeting that, and again I quote, "I have the right to do anything I want. I am the president." His claim is being tested in many cases now winding through the federal court system. Numerous of them are expected to reach the Supreme Court. The real consequences of the Trump case decision are revealed by the firing of NLRB, National Labor Relations Board member Gwen Wilcox, on January 28, 2005, by email sent at the president's direction. Ms. Wilcox received the following message, and I quote, "Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution vests the entire executive power in a single president, who alone is accountable to the people." Continuing, "The aims and purposes of the administration with respect to the work on the board can be carried out most effectively with personnel of my own choosing. To that end, effective as of this date, Gwen A. Wilcox and Jennifer Abruzzo, who was general counsel for the NLRB, are hereby removed from the office of members of the National Labor Relations Board." Background information pertinent to the firings are as follows. The National Labor Relations Board was created by Congress as a multi-member federal independent agency. Contrary to that statute, Board member Wilcox was fired without stated cause. The issue in her case involves analysis of a 1935 Supreme Court case, Humphreys Executor versus United States, where the Supreme Court held that, and I'm quoting, "experts in independent agencies created by Congress and appointed by statute for a term of years are protected from the unilateral decision of the president to act at will." The court in Humphreys' Executor case unanimously ruled 9-0 that the president did not have the legal authority to fire a commissioner of the Federal Trade Commission without cause. Gwen Wilcox has a lawsuit pending against President Trump before the Supreme Court for her unlawful termination as a member of the Labor Relations Board. At the federal district trial level, and relying on the Humphrey case precedent, the presiding judge ruled that Ms. Wilcox's dismissal by the president was unlawful and that she would remain a member of the board until the expiration of her designated term. The Supreme Court subsequently blocked that reinstatement order by issuing a superseding order on its quote-unquote emergency docket. Presently, Ms. Wilcox may no longer participate in NLRB matters under consideration, with only 2 remaining members on that board, insufficient legally to constitute a quorum to conduct business matters on its agenda. The board is unable to operate. The NLRB has been put in mothballs for the time being by presidential action. The Supreme Court has put other cases on its scheduled docket, added since January 20, 2025, following its decision in Trump versus United States. They include birthright citizenship as defined by the 14th Amendment, Section 1. Roving immigration patrols involving ICE under the direction of a presidential executive order. The application of the Alien Enemy Act of 1798 in federalizing National Guard troops to patrol areas designated by the president. Dismantling the Department of Education by executive order. The general use of tariffs based upon a declared state of emergency issued by the president under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. Executive branch impoundment of congressionally authorized funding for purposes approved by the House and Senate. We should expect the Supreme Court to give clear, written legal analysis supported by solid case law authority in its resolution of these issues. Will it? Will the court invoke the historical legal principle of stare decisis in reaching its decisions? Public confidence in the Supreme Court is enhanced when it employs rational, authoritative, and credible explanations to support its determination of issues. On the other hand, the court subjects itself to scholarly and public criticism when it consciously ignores stare decisis and directly overrules prior case law precedent, especially when that overruled case has been accepted and relied upon as applicable law for decades. The continuing successful progress of American constitutional democracy is in the hands of the Supreme Court.
We could roll out of bed and draw a line in the sand, build a big wall and throw up our hands, and insist that the other just can't understand. Make our differences hills that we die on. Well, the man on the screen tells us what to believe, so we don't have to wonder and don't have to think about politics, immigrants, guns, or vaccines. Just tune in and tune out and surrender. Let's cling to the cross and the red, white, and blue, and paint a picture of Jesus that looks like we do, and close the God's grace isn't great enough for them. And speaking of great, we should be great again. Like when rules were all written by wealthy white men. Back when women were quiet and those with brown skin were defined as 3/5 of a human. Thank you. My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the near but far off hymn that hails the new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm when to the rock I'm clinging. If love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When though the tempest round me roars, I hear the truth it liveth, and though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble in their fear and hear their death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? In prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the real but far off hymn that hails the new creation. Oh, the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? Go ahead and build a wall with those stones you're throwing. We will keep on singing till it all falls down. Build it deep and wide and tall and try to hide behind it. We will keep on singing till the walls fall down. Hear the voices of my sisters and the voices of my brothers. Join the echoes of the prophets and of those who came before us, till the captive's cry becomes a freedom song. We will keep on singing till the lost fall down. Go ahead and pass your laws and legislate your power. We will keep on singing till the laws fall down. Burn your books and sow your seeds of fear and hate and anger. We will keep on singing till the laws fall down. Hear the voices of my sisters and the voices of my brothers. Join the echoes of the prophets and of those who came before us, till the captive's cry becomes a freedom song. We will keep on singing till the laws fall down. Oh, we will keep on singing. Oh, we will keep on singing. Oh, we will keep on singing. Oh. Go ahead, rewrite the truth. We see what you're selling. We will keep on singing till it all falls down. Make your plans and wage your wars and plot your own destruction. We will keep on singing till it all falls down. Hear the voices of my sisters and the voices of my brothers. Join the echoes of the prophets and of those who came before us, till the captive's cry becomes a freedom song. We will keep on singing till it all falls down. Oh, we will keep on singing till it all falls down. Oh, we will keep on singing till it all falls down. Thank you all. Do what you can. What you have is enough.
I wanted someone who would give a now what after we've heard the what and the so what. Recenter Indiana is nonpartisan. Their core values, I think everybody will resonate with this: people over politics, results over rhetoric, and patriotism over politics. Join me in welcoming Adrianne as she gives us the now what for all of us to take with us from today.
Greetings, and thank you for that introduction. I'm glad that you're all here with me today because it's our turn. We are the people who will live in the future history books. Whether we like it or not, we are the ones. We are the people who will be alive to tell those stories. And I have a few minutes, not just a few, to charge you with being the people that future generations will cheer for and celebrate. As students, we've learned history. We've studied it, and we've critiqued it. I'm sure many of us have. And as students, I'm sure you can remember at some point in time, you had the opportunity to question those who came before you, whether it was in books Or you chose to do your own research with your family. You might have said things like, where were you? Or what did you do? Why didn't you do more? And sometimes if you know a really awesome member of living history, you may even have celebrated and applauded them for the work that they did. But now we're the ones that are going to get those questions about right now. And whether we like it or not, it's important that we think about, what will they say about us? What will they say? Will they say that we got it right? Will they say that we messed it up? Will they say that we were too silent? What will they say about you? So for nearly 250 years, our nation has lived an experiment of democracy. And I have to say experiment, and I also have to kind of overemphasize it, because that's exactly what it is. It's been an experiment. Our founders did not get everything right. I'm never going to say that they did. They tried. And they gave us a concept that was worth improving and defending every single day. And, you know, for over 2 centuries, we've done that, right? There have been no kings, and we've had a constitution to uphold through good times and bad. But now it's on us to make sure that that doesn't change, and right now is another one of those pivotal times in history. We are living through, whether we like it or not, a giant group project. So if you hated those in school and you don't really like to do them at work, doesn't matter, we're here now. And the only way that group projects show up or only way that group projects work is if every voice, every heart, every mind, every one of us participates. That means showing up. And I'm, wonderful choir here today. We're all here and I'm appreciative of it. But here in central Indiana, our voter turnout often doesn't even reach 50%. And that's not good enough. That's not actually showing up. Voting is how we ensure a representative government. And without a representative government, our democracy is challenged. Our Constitution may not stand the way that we need it. And I think we all have a little bit of fear that we are there now in the place where we have to fix it. So that means that every election, every time, we have to participate. That also means engaging in civil conversation. I didn't get to every tent today, but I've had a really great experience in talking with people. People I've never met before, people who don't live on my block, people who may not see things the way that I do, but we've talked. And that's mattered. We can't only be vulnerable and honest with people who are already like us. That's easy, right? Real progress comes when we bring that same openness and dialogue to people who see the world differently. The diversity of thought is how society grows. I can be comfortable at home, but it's in my uncomfortable spaces that I actually get a better understanding of the world around me. It doesn't happen in my own space. So it's our turn to shape the narrative of Indiana and our country. Research shows that we are not as divided as we think. We sit in the middle more often than not. Organizations like Recenter Indiana only really exist because that is true, and we hope to amplify it. But it's also really good news for democracy. Really good news to know that we're in the middle more than we're not. But it means that we must support and develop leaders who actually represent us. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires intentional action. I'll say it again. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires intentional action. So if you're ready, why not you? If it's not you, then who in your circle can you lift up or amplify? What ideas do they have that can help us? It's our turn to carry others with us into rooms where their stories need to be heard, into conversations where their experiences matter. I haven't been everywhere, but people I know have been places I haven't. There are people that I know that are experiencing the downfall of our experience in this country worse than I am. I have to speak for them, and if I don't, who will? Okay? We have to think about that. Our humanity is what will make this democracy work. And it's what will make it work for all of us, not just for some. And it means paying attention beyond elections. So there is not just time to vote a couple of times, quarter, century, whenever you decide that you feel engaged. But there's plenty of other places. There's public meetings, there's community forums, there's legislative hearings. Someone's tried to appoint you to a board or a commission and you didn't have time. They needed you there. Your voice, your unique experience, your unique access point, those things matter beyond the election day, and your presence is needed there too. If you know about an issue, amplify it. If someone shares a concern with you, carry it forward. Silence is complicity, and most of us are silent in times when we really need to speak up. I personally refuse to believe that what has stood for this long can fall apart now. But I also believe that people will look back on this moment as a bit of a turning point, a time when we tried new approaches. This is a new approach, isn't it? So it's a time when we can try new approaches. It's a time where we may engage differently, but most importantly, I hope that they look at this time in their history books as a time when we chose to care enough to act. We may not always get it right, okay? There's well-intended people who've tried a million times and they didn't get it right either, but they tried. But by showing up and amplifying voices and staying engaged, we can shape a history worth celebrating. Personally, I've chosen to engage locally, to listen to meetings, to participate, and to bring everyone with me that's not present. Sometimes it means I'm sending some text messages, how do you feel about this? Or if we were to do this thing, how would you feel? Would you come? What would keep you away so that I can understand how to tear down some walls? But it's important for me also that I stay out of echo chambers, and I really would ask that you would try that yourself. You can be comfortable at home. You can have peace in your bed. That's fine. But it's when we are with others that are thinking of things differently and experiencing the world differently that we learn about the world, and we learn how to create a better society. So don't remain silent where your input could spark change. That's also something that we're really good at because we're comfortable. We're Hoosier nice. And Hoosier nice means we'll just smile and nod and say, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. But in reality, it is our job to say, well, tell me more about that. Why do you think that? Do you know other people that are experiencing that, or is that a story that you read somewhere? Try your very best to engage, to understand if someone's just digested a talking point, or if they truly understand the human and the humanity that's in the situation. So, Dr. King said that the time is always right to do what's right, and that means speaking up in spaces where you can spark change. So I'll leave you with some advice that I gathered from some others, because I'm going to take my own advice and do what I'm telling you to do. I'm going to bring others with me that aren't here. So here's what they wanted me to tell you to consider as your actions. First, choose our nation. Invest in making it better by engaging and calling out divisiveness. Pause before reacting. Take a proactive approach. Oftentimes we hear things that spark an emotion. That emotion may not be necessary. It may be more important that we understand what was said and that we engage a little bit deeper before giving a reaction, or even saying, you know what, I'm going to have to think about that. And by keeping the conversation at more of a civil tone and an engagement, that vulnerability on both sides can open up. You have to leave space for it. Seek clarity. So, is that real or is that just a perception? Do you know anyone? It's kind of to that other point. The other one, which is my favorite, connect locally. What happens here matters most. You also know the people, the places, and the players. You know what it means when a street's cut off for you. You know what it means when resources run out. You know what it means when you used to have access that you don't have anymore. Engaging locally keeps it real. Engaging locally keeps you inspired and motivated when we are essentially drinking from a fire hose with our issues daily. Strengthen your media literacy and that of people around you. So be critical of your sources. I've got a person here that I know feels that way. And most importantly, when you're thinking about that part, read a story from more than one angle. One source is not the only place where you should find your information. Figure out where the facts were, because that's going to be in most of the stories, and then where it was editorialized. And somewhere in there you have the opportunity to decide how you feel about those issues. Forgive people who apologize and want to do better. Unfortunately, that's part of the biggest misunderstanding processes that we have today. Someone will say, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to offend you, and we will hold that person accountable for that offense for the rest of their life, instead of giving them an actual opportunity to try. I'm asking you to let them try. If they can't get it right, then okay. But try your best to forgive them and let them do better if that's something that they can do. Defend history. Share your family's story and make sure that you're helping to amplify the stories of others. If we keep history human, legislation can be impacted by humanity. If the people in our stories are people that we can connect to, the policies and the processes we set up to support them in this country can become more human. So keep history human by sharing it and adding more and more to it every time. Engage. Every election, every time. And as I get to the last two, these really matter. Be on the right side of history. Reject violence, bigotry, and remember that we're all created equal. And if that's something that you truly hold true, you will make sure that you defend others the same way that you defend yourself, the same way that you defend ideas that you love. You can also defend ideas that you're just getting to know as you evolve. And these last ones, it could be all three, and it could be, one or two that you pick, but pray up, read up, speak up. Most importantly, love your neighbors the way that you love yourself. And if you do that, you'll actually be able to make room for others, and that's what will strengthen our society. So as I close, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and most importantly, thank you for taking our turn at history seriously. It's our time, but most importantly, if you need something to digest, it's your time. Thank you.
We have one last musical performance, but this is a community-engaged performance. In other words, I'm going to ask you all, since we're at the end of this event, to come out of your tents, come from all corners of the footprint here, come down in front of the stage, because we're going to make a joyful noise for democracy. But we need to raise our voices, right? The whole is greater than the sum of the parts, but we need the parts. So come out of your tents. Come on. Come on. Get up here. I'm not kidding around here, folks. Don't make me come over there. I'm not proud, but I will do it. Come on. Come on. We're going to make some noise here. You know, the Bible, or whatever you want to read, never said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, did it ever say sing pretty? Nope. I think it said make a joyful noise. Don't you, Megan? In fact, yep. So I'm going to turn this over to Megan Johnson. She's going to show you and tell you how to do that and what this means. Come on.
Thank you so much, Greg, and thank you for having us here today. My name is Megan Johnson. I am the artistic director of Indianapolis Women's Chorus, and we have just a small part of the chorus here with us today. Our mission is to sing diverse and powerful music to build inclusive community, inspire change, and nurture the human spirit, and that is why we are here, because this matters to us, and we want to nurture and inspire and build community with y'all. So I see that there are like bubbles and hula hoops, and if you are not going to sing, maybe you can pick up some bubbles and blow those or wave them around in the air. We're all going to sing together today. The first song is called Be the Change. Please say after me, be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
One more time. Be the change you want to see in the world, and change will come to you.
And change will come to you.
I'm going to sing it first. You and the chorus can sing it after. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. And change will come to you. You can, of course, sing it down here or the really low one that I can't do. Okay? So here or here, echo after me. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change
to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. And change will come to you. And change will come to you. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. And change will come to you. Be the voice you want to hear. Be the voice you want to hear in the world. Be the voice you want to hear in the world. Be the voice you want to hear in the world. And change will come to you. Be the light you want to shine. Be the light you want to shine in the world. Be the light you want to shine in the world. Be the light you want to shine in the world. And change will come to you. Nice and strong, be the change. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. And change will come to you. And change will come to you. And change will come to you. Last time, and change will come to you. Well done, give yourselves a hand. So I was really excited that the name of today's gathering to celebrate the rights we have under the United States Constitution is called Voices for Democracy, right? And we all need to contribute our voice, whether that is singing, whether that is an email, whether that is a phone call, whether that is a visit to your legislator, or just telling your people, hey, we need to get involved and raise our voices. So a couple of my favorite rights under the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution are the freedom of speech and the freedom to peaceably assemble. Those are two of my favorite rights. There are many favorite rights in that Bill of Rights. 1, we know that there's a wrong to be righted. 2, we know that we are stronger when united. 3, we exercise our right to assemble. 4, that's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. 1, 2, 3, again. 1, we see that there's a wrong to be righted. 2, we know that we are stronger when united. 3, we exercise our right to assemble. 4, that's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much for making a big noise for democracy today. Thank you so much.
I think it's cathartic to folks when they see others attending who are like-minded. They know they're not alone, and they aren't. We all need to get together and address the problems of democracy that now present themselves.
Moderate Republicans, independents, obviously Democrats, everyone needs to come and look at we the people, right? This is above party lines. What's happening right now in our government is is dangerous. And I think it needs everyone to come together and to do what's right and to speak out and use our voice or lose our voice.